Good morning, students. In the previous video, we learned that the East India Company introduced permanent settlement in 1793 for the agricultural improvement. Revenue amount was fixed permanently, but there were many problems in the permanent settlement. Those problems we are going to discuss now. The company fixed the revenue, which was so high that the zamindars found it difficult to pay. The company was not foolish that it fixed high revenue. The zamindars couldn't collect the revenue. Therefore, numerous zamindars were sold off at auction. Auction means the property sale in public with a high price. When the company fixed the high revenue, zamindars couldn't collect it. But the situation changed with the growth of the markets. There was agricultural growth. Agriculture expanded. Because of the increase in the agriculture, income of the zamindars also increased. But the company thought there was no profit for the company, though there was increase in the agriculture. After getting money, zamindars didn't have any interest to improve their land. The cultivators found the system extremely oppressive. Why? There were some reasons. The cultivators were paying high rent for their land to the zamindars. And when the cultivators were unable to pay the high rent, that time they were taking the loans from the money lenders. And there also they failed to pay the rent. Therefore, the cultivators were evicted from the lands that they cultivated for the generation. As there were many problems in the permanent settlement, the company officials were convinced that the system of revenue had to be changed again. There was need to change the permanent settlement. To handle the administration and trade, the company thought that it will need more money to meet its expenses. Therefore, in northwestern provinces of Bengal, they introduced Mahalwari system. Who introduced this system? He was an Englishman named Holt Mackenzie. This system came into effect in 1822. What was the Mahalwari system? An Englishman, Holt Mackenzie, who introduced this system in 1822, he said that village is an important social institution. Village called Mahal. The company first calculated the whole plot of a village and the revenue of each plot. Then it decided the revenue that each village had to pay. How the revenue was estimated by the company? Yes, they decided that the collector would go from village to village, inspected the land, the production measuring fields, and recorded the customs and rights of different groups. And then they told amount for village. In the permanent settlement, the revenue amount was fixed. It was so high. And the zamindars were collecting the amount. In the Mahalwari system, the company decided to revise the revenue system permanently. The revenue was not permanently fixed as it was in the permanent settlement. And instead of zamindars, they kept village headmen to collect the revenue. So in the Mahalwari system, instead of zamindar, village headmen were paying money to the company. As there were problems in the permanent system, There were problems also in the Mahalwari system. Therefore, in British territories in south, the Rayatwari or Munro system was introduced. In Mysore, Tipu Sultan was defeated by the Britishers. After that, territories captured by the British. Diwani rights were given to them. They started collecting the taxes. In south, they found zamindars, traditional zamindars. But like these traditional zamindars, they didn't find any zamindars in the north. There were no traditional zamindars. Therefore, the Britishers started the new system in the territories which they got after defeating Tipu Sultan, the Munro system. It is also known as Rayatwari system. In that areas, it was tried on a small scale by the Captain Alexander Reed. And after Captain Alexander Reed, it was gradually developed by Thomas Munro all over South. Student, you can see the image of Thomas Munro on page number 29. Munro system was known as Rayatwari system. In South, Rayats mean cultivators. Taxes were collected by directly from cultivators as there were no traditional zamindars. Therefore, it was called Rayatwari system. Every field of the cultivator assessed, observed by the officers. The revenue was collected by ryots or colonial officers separately. Like permanent settlement and Mahalwari system, here they didn't appoint zamindars or the village headman. British should act as paternal father figures protecting the ryots under their charge. The Murno thought about it. Britishers wanted to act as paternal father figures. They wanted direct interaction with ryots, cultivators. But still, all was not well. So, what were the problems? Yes, all was not well. Though they applied permanent settlement, Mahalwari system, Rayat system, in each and every system there were many problems. Farmers were exploited. How? Let us discuss. In the permanent settlement, the company fixed the high revenue. If the cultivators were unable to pay, they took loan from the money lenders. And when again they failed to pay the rent, they were evicted from their land. In Mahalwari system also, they charge high tax. And in Rayatwari system, if the cultivators were unable to produce good crops, still they had to pay the tax. Due to the high revenue demand, peasants were unable to pay. Riots fled the countryside and villages became deserted in many regions. Till here, we discuss about increasing revenue by the Britishers. After revenue, they focus on crops. Now the Britishers thought area-wise India is a big country. And if the countryside would provide the crops that the Europe required, it will be good for the Britishers to export those goods and earn money. As a trader, their intention was only to earn more money as they entered in India to trade. But to which crops they would focus? They thought to focus on opium and indigo. What is indigo? It's a natural dye. We say it Hindi neel to give fabric color. Opium is a kind of a drug. By the mid of 19th century, the Britishers convinced or force cultivators in various parts of India to produce other crops like jute in Bengal, tea in Assam, sugarcane in the United Provinces, now Uttar Pradesh, wheat in Punjab, cotton in Maharashtra and Punjab, rice in Madras. They started various methods of production. Let's see with the help of one example of a crop, indigo. Does color have a history? Let's see. Students, open the textbook page number 30 where two images are given. The two different images are of cotton prints. First is a kalamkari print and the second is Morris cotton print. Kalamkari print created in the 20th century India by weavers of Andhra Pradesh, and the second cotton print, Morris print, was created in late 19th century England by William Morris, a famous poet and artist. In both these cotton print, can you observe a one common thing? Yes, a rich blue color, also called indigo. Do you know how this color was produced? Earlier, the blue color in prints was produced from a plant called indigo. These plants process and the colors was produced. During the British period, indigo produced in India was in huge demand. India was the biggest supplier of indigo in the world at that time. Students, the remaining part of the lesson we will continue in the next video. Before that, you read the lesson at least 2 to 3 times and start to find out the question's answer. Thank you.